All right. We just got the notification, Tommy. We're live. What's up, man? Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It is my birthday. I'm 28 years old, getting older every single day.
To be 28 again, man. I got 4 years on you. So cherish it.
Hey, it hurts.
It does.
Oh, I just got the notification. You're live with Tommy Holstein. Nice, man.
Love it, man. Well, man, really appreciate you hopping on here today, especially on your birthday. Super excited to kind of let the audience know and everybody that's attending Builders of Authority Live know a little bit about you, your company sponsoring the event. You guys are going to be doing some cool video stuff, taking photos. You and I have known each other going on almost 4 years now, got connected, and, ever since then really stayed in touch. Obviously, I've been following your journey. You've been following my journey. And then once we kind of launched the event, it was like, man, we were already kind of talking about doing some stuff to obviously help some of your clients. I was introducing you some people as well. And yeah, man, now it's coming full circle. Video Punk is going to be at the event. Super excited, man.
Yeah, Adam, I can't tell you how excited I am for the event. I really enjoy live events and stuff in general. But specifically the Builders of Authority, I was checking out the site as soon as I saw the announcement. And all of the topics covered are things that I need to work on right now that I want my team to be focused on. And I could not be more excited to be helping out with the event and making cool content there, but also to be there as a participant. I think that I'm going to take a lot away from it, and I know that my guys will too. So, yeah, dude, we're excited.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I know when you had reached out to me, you were out like, hey, we don't just want to like do the event. We want to participate as well. We want to learn. And I think that's super cool, right? Because obviously, like, sometimes people want to sponsor, like pitching at the event. And they just want to like grow, like they just want to know that their company's there or whatever. They want to grow their business from like the monetary standpoint. But you were, not that you don't want to do that too, but like you were like, no, I want to learn from your speakers. I want to learn from you all. I want to go to the Blues game. I want to be at the event the next day. And I think that speaks volumes to like who you are, what you're building, but also like your team. Like obviously we talked to some of your team as well. And it just like, the excitement that you all have around this event, that's what got me excited. And I was like, man, we got to figure out something in order to make this happen.
Dude, I didn't find out until after we like set everything up that you're having it at Tech Artista. I don't know if you knew, but I used to work out of Tech Artista, but so that's crazy that has come full circle too for me.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, we were looking at some spaces and dude, it's crazy. Like I called freaking so many different spaces, and a lot of people just like didn't like still haven't gotten back to me this day. And I'd obviously heard a lot about Tech Artista and things like that. So I'm like, man, let's have it there. I'd been at the Central West End location, but they've been awesome to work with, kind of like help facilitating. Because obviously like I'm going in here and like you and I hopped on a call with is it Dalton?
Dalton, that's right.
Dalton, and then Lorna, my executive assistant. And like, I'm like, dude, like, you were way more prepared for that meeting and asking the right questions versus me. But I'm like, man, like this is kind of one of those things, and we'll kind of dive into your entrepreneurial journey here in a second. But like, it's kind of one of those things where I was just like, put out a post, see if people would be interested, got people interested, decided I was going to throw the event. And then I'm kind of just like doing it in real time, which is, there's pros and cons to that obviously as well, right? Like, of course, the next time I do it, it's going to be better, faster, stronger, etc.
Right.
But I'm kind of just like throwing crap against the wall, seeing what works for me, seeing how these things go. But it's really been really good for people to kind of watch the journey as well, especially through my Builders of Authority group, where I'm like teaching people and showing people, hey, here's how to add the next later. Here's how to do all that stuff as well. So that's been a cool part for me of just like practicing what I preach, failing forward, understanding that it's not going to be perfect, but at some point you just got to take action. So I know you've owned your own companies. You've worked at other companies doing what you do now. Talk to us a little bit just about like how your journey in and of itself has really came full circle.
Sure. Yeah, man. So anytime that I tell my, my journey story, I always start right as I was exiting college. I was working at a startup company out of Tech Artista. And I worked there for maybe a year and a half, and right in my last semester of school, they shut down, and which sucked. I enjoyed working there, but it was also very sudden, and I found myself out of a job, just out of nowhere. And I was still in school, and I was paying monthly to go to Lindenwood, and had other bills to pay. And I was like, okay, I've got to make money literally right now, so I can pay my bills. So I started cold emailing as many companies as I could, and a couple got back to me way quicker than I thought they would. And I kind of stumbled into being an entrepreneur that way, kind of just out of desperation, because I had to make some sort of income to pay for things. But it started there. And then I remember talking with my dad, and he was like, you don't have to be like a freelancer. You can turn this into a business. And I was like, you're right. I can turn this into a business. So from there, I started Holstein Studios, which was my first venture. Very similar to what I'm doing now. I was doing photo and video for businesses. I specifically have always targeted businesses and organizations. I've stayed away from the wedding industry or music videos, really just because I figured that people who run businesses have the biggest bank accounts, so I would have more success there.
Yeah.
But I did that for about 2 years, and after 2 years, I was about to get married. At the same time, COVID was happening, had just begun, and things were already kind of tight. And I realized at that time that I needed to learn some more skills and just learn how businesses operated, and how what it was like to start and run and grow a business. And I realized that since I left college and I had never really worked with other companies, I did some internships and co-ops and stuff, but I never spent long at other companies, and I needed more exposure to that to gain the skills that I was lacking at that time. And I made the decision that summer of 2020 to stop my first venture, and I went and worked with some mutual friends of ours over at Vi Media. And I worked there for 2 years and had a great time there. I learned a ton of different things about business, that a lot of things that were like, you don't know that you don't know.
Yeah.
Got a lot of exposure to working with clients and like how contracts are written, how meetings are ran, and just what a typical day-to-day looks like. And after about 2 years, I did that, and I looked around and I was like, what, I think it's time for the next thing. I always knew that I wanted to go back and start another venture at some point. And at the beginning of 22, it was time. So I made my exit there, and then started Video Punk January 31st, 2022, and have been doing that ever since. So we specifically, we work with, it has been St. Louis businesses for a long time, but now we're kind of branching out and trying to make it to where we are able to reliably do this across the country. We make commercials, web videos, social media videos, do a lot of interview type things, and specifically right now getting into event video and kind of capturing live events, specifically those that are in growth related events. I really enjoy your event, or anything that has to do with leadership opportunities. I think that there's just a lot of fun energy at those types of events. So yeah.
It's also a great networking opportunity, obviously, as well as the people that go to those types of events. Usually they're going to the types of events that they also, invest money in, and maybe they're throwing their own events. I know a couple people that are coming to my event also throw their own events. So that'd be a good networking opportunity. But just those people in general, if they're investing in going into events, they're probably going to also invest in things like video.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I do recommend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about, like, I know you mentioned like some of the types of events that you guys are like doing, or types of clients, but like, what are you seeing right now in terms of the people that you've worked with or the people that you're having conversations with? What is like the video punk? Like, you're like, hey man, like we can come in and help you with this. And this is why, because of what we're seeing going on in the industry of like working with businesses.
Yeah. That's a great question. And I think right now we are kind of in a transitional period with that, and like finding specifically what we do. For a long time, I thought that we wanted to focus on like really scripted videos and writing zany characters. And if you're familiar with like with Harmon Brothers, they're someone that I always look to as like the gold standard for this type of video. They hire actors and they write these crazy scenarios, very goofy, and it is usually to sell products. But I think that where we found a lot of success is in helping. Every video agency says like we tell stories, or we help tell stories. So I don't want to just repeat that, but I really think that hearing from real people and hearing people's real experiences is really powerful, especially if it is something that is maybe emotional or transformational subject matters. Do a lot on video, and I've done a lot of like customer testimonials and interviews with clients or customers or participants at events and stuff, and hearing people's transformational journeys or experiences is just really cool. And I think that can do a lot for a business. So let's say, for example, for the Builders of Authority event, if there is somebody that goes to your event and has a complete like epiphany moment, and something about whatever you were teaching just like really hits home for them, we would love to capture that on camera and hear from that person as to like what it was about your event that had them get from A to B, and why your event made such an impact on them. And I think that is where video can really help at certain stages for businesses. And that's, I think, kind of where we are specializing in right now.
Nice. Well, one of the things that I wanted to say and just give like kudos to you, because like I've obviously seen you in action, whether it was you freaking coming and helping me figure out my YouTube's,
right.
Which again, massive shout out to you. Helped dial in some things here at the office, or like I've seen you do other events, and I've obviously also been interviewed by you a couple of times, like a couple of years ago. Your attention, maybe it's not even attention to detail, but the attention to understanding what is important. Like I'm sure people come to you and are like, hey, Tommy, I don't even know why video would work. What even is a good video at like what step in the process? Like you just explaining that of like, to me, of course, like I come from a marketing mind. So I'm like, yeah, of course we're going to get customer testimonial videos.
Right.
But a lot of businesses don't even understand. They're thinking about like, hey, how can I make this project look so cool on video and then go share that and hope it goes viral but for like what? You're focused on like the return on investment. So your mind goes to, hey, Adam, how can we figure out how to capture a moment that is going to be like have the full storytelling component that's going to get people excited about coming back to another Builders of Authority event when they're capturing the moment, when it hits there. And that's where your mind goes, where again, I don't think a lot of people's minds go there, whether it's other video people or it's the clients and the businesses that you're working with, because it's not usually the like shiny thing, right? It's usually like the underground story that when done correctly is the exponential growth standpoint of whatever you're working on with the business.
Yeah. And you touched on like, you know, a lot of people want like these flashy videos and stuff. Those certainly work depending on, you know, what you're selling or what the purpose is for the video, or, you know, what the actual target market is. Like those flashy videos can work wonders.
Yep.
And that's just not where we specialize. So I think that service-based businesses are certainly something that we tend to focus on, because those are, you know, there are a lot of interviews that will have value from service-based businesses, whereas product-based businesses, I think, can benefit more from those more flashier videos and those types of things. So yeah, whenever we sit down with, let's say, a customer of like our client's customer or something like that, or someone that we're interviewing, it takes like, you know, 30 minutes to break the ice with somebody and get somebody comfortable to talk on camera in the first place.
Yeah.
But after a while, we get to like, we kind of break those walls down with somebody and they kind of open up. And at that point, they're really starting to share real insights or real things that have affected them. And so, yeah, it does take work to get that kind of content out of somebody, if that makes sense.
No, 100% makes sense. I've been there and I've done that. That's awesome, man. Well, no, I'm super excited to have you at the event. Super excited to have your team there. I know you guys are like on the trajectory to continue to grow and grow and grow, and you guys do amazing work. So I'm excited to, you know, bring in my sphere of the world, both from people in here in St. Louis and the people that are traveling outside of St. Louis to come to this event. Go to buildauthority.co/event. You can see the link in this post wherever you're watching it, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's in the Facebook group, YouTube, etc. Trying to get everywhere. Tommy, any last words or like piece of advice of like what you're excited about or what you would recommend to people about buying a ticket to make sure that they're in the seat at Builders of Authority Live on March 13th?
Yeah, Adam, I think that I know that I'm going to get so much out of this experience at being at this event, because what I do, I'm sitting at home a lot of the times. I make my own hours, and I work from home, and I work with people remotely a lot of the times.
Yep.
It can be draining and it can be really isolating. And I have realized that going and seeking out events or places where you can meet with and collaborate with other like-minded people, or people that you just, or that you want to emulate, maybe. You have to find those opportunities. And this is that opportunity that I saw. And I was like, look, I want to get in front of those people. I want to network with those people. I think that, it's going to provide so much value for those people that are there, in not just the material that you are going to be presenting, but then those connections that the people make while they're there that will have effects after the event too. So I think that Builders of Authority has an opportunity to change a lot of people's lives if they attend. So I'm excited, Adam. I'm gonna, you know, we'll make sure that we're taking a lot of awesome video and photo for you and the team, but we will also have pen and paper ready to be taking notes. So
love it, man. Well, I'll let you go celebrate that birthday of yours, man. Big 28, and I can't thank you enough for committing to doing this event, sponsoring the event, all that good stuff. So we'll see you and everybody else on March 13th and March 14th if you want to come to the extra day that we're doing. But thanks again, man. Super excited to have you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you, Adam.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man.